Hey, this is Kits Aragon for the Off-Road Exchange. Are these mods necessary after a 2-inch IFS suspension lift, aftermarket upper control arms, and a differential drop kit? These two components were unheard of 10 years ago, but now are marketed as must-haves when you lift your IFS rigs even at just 2 inches. Let's take a look at each closely. The aftermarket upper control arm, or UCA, is usually beefier than the factory UCA. The upgraded beefier look gives it bling factor, as UCAs are not load-bearing and not under much stress, unlike the lower control arm. Aftermarket UCAs are usually tubular or boxed in construction. Most have ball joints on them. Others even have super articulating ball joints. The role of the upgraded UCA is to reintroduce the factory suspension geometry that was bamboozled by the lifted suspension and taller tires. It enables proper camber and caster alignment, which ensures that your expensive X-Terrain tires wear out evenly and help your rig steer and handle safely and properly. For some vehicle applications where the factory upper UCA come into contact with the aftermarket shocks during suspension droop, the aftermarket UCAs are a solution. All these reasons make it a compelling case for the consumer to opt for the UCA upgrade. For some, it's the bling factor that seals the deal. The differential drop kit, hereafter referred to as DDK and not to be confused with the suspension lift kit, usually consists of 1-inch spacers or brackets to lower the front differentials, thereby alleviating CV joint angles back to stock. CV meaning constant velocity joint. See the before and after pics. Do take note that the vehicle is stationary on a flat and even surface. Looking at the before pic, the angle once more. Imagine the suspension on full droop. That CV angle will be bent and stressed much further. Without this upgrade, the CV joints are prone to premature wear or failure. CV boot damage is also a common problem. Imagine this happening to the CVs while you are out on the trail. Not a good thing. There are two arguments against the DDK: availability and effectivity of the kit. The kits work effectively on some vehicles, not all. It will take a while to gather that data. In the meantime, you can do your own research based on your vehicle. The second is, what was the point of raising the suspension and adding taller tires to gain ground clearance? Ground clearance helps the rig conquer off-road obstacles. The DDK actually decreases ground clearance. In the sticks, every inch counts. Let's dive into this a bit. The lowest hanging point on the vehicle is usually the differential. The measurement from the ground to the lowest hanging point of the vehicle is what ends up in the spec sheet as ground clearance. The front diff sits slightly higher than the rear and is supported by a cross member and covered by a skid plate. Let's say the stock ground clearance is at 10 inches. A 2-inch suspension lift allows a 33-inch tire upgrade from the factory 31-inch. It raises the ground clearance by 1 inch. Do apply math with gearhead sense, okay? So it is now 11 inches. You've only gained 1 inch. Therefore, if you lower the front diff by way of a DDK, you lower the front diff by 1 inch. You are back again to the factory ground clearance of 10 inches. Some say the benefits of the DDK outweighs this issue. I'm afraid that I've added more to the confusion than to provide clarity to the issues. But what is clear is that a UCA and DDK upgrade is a case-to-case basis. It depends on the vehicle application and needs. I have barely presented the options and the case for or against them. So do your due diligence. or just don't give a friggin' damn and let the shop decide for you? I sure would like to read your thoughts about this on the comments below. This is Kits Aragon for the Off-Road Exchange. Happy trails!